A report will intend to be thorough, evidence-based, and actionable. Let me be clear about our expectation from today. We are not here merely to catalog problems. You already know this. We are here to identify concrete legislative, regulatory, security, and administrative solutions to our problems. The kind that survive beyond this committee tenure and outlast a single administration. Distinguished stakeholders, the mandate before this committee is significant, but it's also an opportunity to help write a new chapter in how Nigeria's government works. A chapter defined by transparency instead of concealment, instead of impunity, and a chapter that shares national benefit instead of illicit private gain. I want to assure everyone present that this committee will pursue its work with courage, fairness, and an unwavering commitment to Nigerian people whose resources this true are. I thank you all for your presence, your candor, and your partnership. Let us begin this important conversation today. Thank you, and God bless everyone in Nigeria. Thank you, all the participants of this important program. By this House, under the leadership of our respected Speaker of the House, to see how we can actually bring down those who are operating in illegal mining, who are also causing insecurity for this country, and again, who is involved in this funding. We assure you that we are going to cooperate with you, we are going to work with you, so that we can get what is needed for this committee to help this country in that. You are welcome and appreciate us. Thank you.
On behalf of the 10th House of Representatives, to declare open this high-level technical stakeholders workshop convened by our ad hoc committee on minerals exploitation, security, and anti-money laundering. Distinguished stakeholders, this workshop is not an academic exercise. It is a legislative intervention born out of urgent national necessity. For too long, our vast mineral endowment has been subjected to exploitation by unpatriotic elements, insecurity in our mining corridors, and illicit financial flows that rob our treasury and undermine our sovereignty. The importance of this gathering to the collective benefit of our nation cannot be overstated. Nigeria cannot achieve economic diversification, fiscal stability, or job creation if the sector that should be a second revenue pillar is bleeding from illegality and opacity. The objective of this workshop is clear: to extract credible information, evidence, and expert recommendations from regulators, security agencies, and operators in the extractive sector. The House, in the exercise of its oversight and law-making mandate under sections 88 and 89 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, must be guided by facts before we legislate. Therefore, I charge all participants here today, the regulators that set the rules, the security agencies that enforce them, and the many operators that do business under them, to cooperate fully with this committee. This is not an imposition. It is a partnership. Withhold nothing, speak plainly, provide solutions. The success of this intervention depends on the quality of information we receive and the sincerity of purpose we all bring to this room. To the security agencies, we need the operational realities. To the regulators, we need your policy gaps. To the operators, we need your compliance challenges and your commitment to best practices. Only through this triangulation can the House produce legislation that is implementable, enforceable, and beneficial. I wish you fruitful deliberations. Your presence here today is itself an act of patriotism. The decisions and inputs that will emerge from these technical sessions will shape the future of Nigeria's mining sector for the next generation. Let me conclude by reminding us all of the ultimate objective of this legislative intervention. It is threefold. One, to reform the sector so that it becomes a significant contributor to GDP, foreign exchange earnings, and employment. Two, to dismantle the nexus between illegal mining, banditry, and terrorism, and to ensure peace to our host communities. And three, to entrench transparency, traceability, and anti-money laundering compliance in the extractive industry, particularly the mining sector, so that Nigeria becomes a destination for responsible investment. The 10th House of Representatives is determined to give Nigeria a new minerals and mining law that reflects our renewed hope agenda, a law that protects our resources, secures our people, and grows our economy. With these remarks, it is my honor and pleasure to formally declare upon the high-level technical stakeholders workshop on extractive industry governance. Thank you, and may God continue to bless the federal government.
Thank you for your service here for the House Committee, the dedication and interest in this critical matter in Nigeria's critical history. Thank you very much, everyone here, for acknowledging and recognizing the fact that there is, in fact, need to close the policy gap and the legislative gap between policy legislation and impact. The Nigerian Reform is also well committed to the state's interests and their role in this critical sector. We are actively in partnership with the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development and have already created a joint technical working group with members of the leadership of the Solid Minerals Development mission here together with the Nigerian Reform, which is an opportunity to show just how committed the Nigerian government's forum is to addressing some of the challenges put here today, including traceability, accountability, cooperation, coordination. Again, thank you also to the security members here. In order for this to be possible, we do in fact have to secure the enabling environment for any of these activities to be possible. Some of the other critical issues, in fact, I think the most critical issue is one of cooperation and coordination. All the ministries, departments, and agencies involved must come together in a whole government approach in order to move this system forward. The Honorable Minister of Solid Minerals Development himself has already set forward a 7-point agenda to address these things and has been leading the way in innovation, digitization, and integrity in the sector. So together with the Honorable Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Didi Aniki, and the Nigerian Governance Forum, we have again committed to participating in a joint steering technical working group to address all the issues that have been pressed forward. And with, of course, members of the House Committee here as legislation and policy are critical to making such a movement forward. And hopefully together, in collaboration and coordination, we can close the gap from policy to impact. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Grown from 6 billion naira 2026. This report corroborates the publication by the State House official website on the 25th of May 2025, applauding the contributions of the NSCDC as complementing other reforms policies initiated by the federal government. This was done through the Ministry of Solid Mineral Development to achieve these successes. The news was published on the State House official website as President Tinubu's mining reforms yield six-fold increase in revenue, $800 million foreign investments. Operations and production-wise also, the corps has during the period under review arrested over 671 illegal mining suspects, out of which 397 were charged with court, and several convictions secured. More convictions still underway. Let me also, at this point, appreciate the Minister of Solid Mineral Development, Dr. AD-HOC, for his strong commitment to this government, his foresight in bringing up the mining sector reforms and policies currently being executed by the federal government, and the courage with which he pursues with all sense of seriousness his consistent effort and support to ensure the success of NSCDC mining marshal is highly encouraging in the face of pushbacks. In the same vein, as the Minister of Solid Mineral Development, I want on behalf of the Commander General of Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, appreciate very immensely the continued support and ministerial guide of the Minister of Interior, Dr. whose continued and unwavering support has helped to ensure the success of this operation from inception till date. More recently, in the line of operations, the mining marshal discovered an important policy reform to regulate the movement of minerals, and the Minister is already giving it very serious implementation attention that will further reduce illegal mining activities and significantly boost revenue generation in the mining sector by blocking leakages. I can tell you for free that the appointment of Dr. AD-HOC is the best thing that happened to the Nigerian mining sector since independence. He is undoubtedly the man for the job, and his appointment as the Minister of Solid Mineral Development was well thought out by Mr. President, who himself is very calculative in his choice of appointment. As you may have already known, among other arrays of very positive scorecards recorded by the Commander General in the last few years of service, the full support of the Commander General for the success of mining marshal's operations without cash backing in the last 2 years significantly contributed to his extension of tenure by additional 5 years. As the saying goes, nobody changes the winning team. Also, beyond arrest and investigation, efforts made since the commencement of this operation, the Corps has made strenuous efforts ensuring the prosecution of offenders arrested by the mining marshals to achieve deterrence, and this has continued to send clear signal to all stakeholders that mining is no longer business as usual, and traffic of compliance is hereby noticed today. Records are clear that we are having traffic of compliance within the regulatory agencies, and that is by no small measure boosting the revenue of this great country. These efforts, which are geared towards ensuring security in the Nigerian mining sector, have also significantly boosted investor confidence over time, leading to more significant investment commitment in the sector. Despite all these achievements with limited opportunities and resources, the operations of mining marshal is not without some challenges, some of which include logistics and mobility. The Nigerian terrain is vast and often remote. The Corps requires more operational logistics for the mining marshals, including vehicles, surveillance drones, and communication equipment to strengthen enforcement efforts in order to sustain the ongoing success. Currently, as I speak to you, this operation is only being run with a little logistics support by the Commander General and the Minister of Solid Mineral Development. It has no budgetary or cash backing yet, thus limiting coverage and sustainability. Also, beyond the aforementioned surveillance drones and communication equipment, as envisioned by the standard operating procedure of the mining marshals, there is need for a centralized real-time intelligence fusion platform involving all stakeholders and host communities in form of a situation room to maintain 24-hour surveillance on all duly licensed mining sites and mineral mining centers across the country. This will be done with the aid of remotely controlled CCTV cameras to be mounted at all mining sites and mineral mining centers. This can hardly be achieved without direct policy implementation with cash backing. Additional challenge that the operation of mining marshal faced has to do with obstruction and interference. During the period under review, from the commencement of this operation in 2024-28, this operation has witnessed very fierce obstruction by some corrupt individuals within and outside government establishments, who yielded themselves as tools to achieve the objectives of organized syndicates and cartel whose illegal mining operations are being disrupted by the mining marshals. And unless the operations of the mining marshal is strengthened under the supervision and directives of the Commander General, obstruction and interferences that are carefully orchestrated to sabotage the operations of NSCDC mining marshals may persist to succeed at a time in the very near future. We also look at judicial bottlenecks. Any arrests, investigation without prosecution or speedy prosecution will also serve as a challenge. It is no longer news that illegal mining operations fuel insecurity in Nigeria and that drastic measures are needed to ensure that the enterprise is seriously discouraged by deterrence, which could only be effectively achieved by diligent and swift prosecution of offenders, regardless of their status. However, the prosecution of arrested offenders is challenged by delays associated with judicial bottlenecks in Nigeria. This goes to underscore the need to create a special court for prosecution of illegal miners. Alternatively, since the Federal High Court is the court with requisite jurisdiction over mining offences, it is humbly suggested that the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court may exclusively designate some judges of the Federal High Court to handle the prosecution of illegal mining offences. This singular effort alone, if implemented, will send a very strong message to enhance deterrence in the mining sector, ensuring speedy trials and prompt disposal of criminal cases relating to illegal mining offences. Considering the nature of our operations and assignments, weapons and manpower become very significant. To cover all mining locations across 36 states and FCT effectively, the Corps requires adequate weaponry for the mining marshals operatives, who have undergone rigorous trainings by the Corps to match the threats associated with illegal mining operations and the difficult terrains where they are carried out by very sophisticated criminal elements backed by cartels. Currently, the mining marshal is only being supported with limited manpower and weaponry from the general pool of NSCDC. And although the Corps is doing everything to sustain its support, more success are capable of being achieved with more weaponry and manpower support. Community dynamics. In some areas within the country, economic desperation makes communities and community leaders complicit in illegal mining activities. And unless this is more decisively addressed, intelligence gatherings against illegal mining activities in such communities will always be challenged. Accordingly, there is need for a legislative framework that will guarantee more inclusiveness to ensure that local communities benefit from lawful mining operations beyond whatever benefit will be derived from illegal mining activities, especially in terms of intensive development and boosting of local economic activities. This, alongside enforcement, will ensure that mining activities nationwide are more development-driven to lessen the burden of grassroots development that currently remain a very huge responsibility for government. Conclusively, the NSCDC, under the leadership of the Commandant General, Professor Ahmed Abakar, the MNI OFR, remains fully committed to protecting Nigeria's mineral resources, and the mining marshals will continue to discharge its duties with professionalism, respect for human rights, and in line with the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President. We thank the honorable members of the House of Representatives for this support, and we assure you of our sustained partnership as we continue to work tirelessly in order to strengthen legislative oversight in the Nigerian extractive sector. A secure mining sector means more revenue for Nigeria, more jobs for our youth, and less funding for criminality. Thanks for your rapt attention. God bless Federal Republic.
We came to discuss issues concerning mining as it affects Nigerians.